CJ, what's popping?
What's good? What's good?
What up, brother?
What's going on, brother? Man, you've been doing a lot of talking, and a lot of it don't make sense. Complaining is okay if you gain the influence, but the men are gaining influence on here, so can they complain? Then it's not like you just been saying a whole bunch of shit that contradicts itself. Then you say you don't know anything. How the fuck are you talking? How are you
So,
saying anything if you don't know anything?
do
Do
you
you
want me to
believe
answer
so?
one of your questions, or you just going to keep rambling?
I didn't really ask. That was the first question
You,
I thought. But go ahead.
you brought up two questions.
All right, what too?
So, the thought process of nothing is like a memory card. See, when you are full of all of this knowledge, you no longer have room to get more knowledge.
That's not how knowledge works,
And
brother.
can I finish?
That's
Can I
not
finish?
that's not how
Can
knowledge
can I
works.
can I
Not if you're
finish
gonna
that?
start on a false
Can,
premise.
can I
That's
finish?
not how knowledge works.
So you want to come up here and argue with me, or
Well,
you want to just?
that's what I'm here for. Because you've been saying a bunch of
But
bullshit,
but
and I'm
that
here to
that's
tell you that
gay.
it's been bullshit.
That's gay
Knowledge don't
shit,
work by you're full of knowledge. It's
sir.
not gay by arguing with
Sir,
people.
calm down.
Arguing is not gay.
Can you calm down? Stop being
I am
gay.
calm.
Calm down.
I'm calm,
Calm down.
brother.
There
You're
we go.
being gay
So,
by saying
so
I'm gay. That's
can I,
gay.
can
Like
I
you
finish?
calling people gay is gay, bro.
Can I finish?
What's the
Yes,
question
go
on the
ahead.
table?
I'm just asking you a question. Can I finish, sir?
Yeah.
Go ahead, brother.
Well, what was
Okay.
the initial question that CJ posed to you, Mr. Lego? Sorry, I had to get on the phone.
He formed it in the question saying that if I say I don't know anything, how can I teach anything? I teach people to not know also. So the thing about it is, the less you know, the more you're open to learn. Like I said, with a memory card, the most valuable memory card is one with nothing on it, not one that's full. And that is an ideology of mine that I share and teach. You don't have to follow that ideology, sir. You can think whatever you want to. So you could say whatever you want to say about what I'm saying is wrong, because that's your perspective.
So
See,
wait.
you see
So
how they
wait.
work? I'm almost done. We both have different perspectives. Allow me to have my perspective, and I'll allow you to have your perspective. Because the
So
thing
you're
about it
so
is, I'm almost done. When I have a perspective and you have a perspective, there's no arguments because we both are just sharing instead of arguing. Go ahead.
sounds real gay, but
Awesome.
so you're empty memory card right now. That's what you're saying.
I got a little bit, but yeah, I
Oh,
got
so you're
plenty of
not an
room.
empty. So you're not an empty memory card. You have stuff on your memory card.
A little bit.
Oh, so your premise is dumb. It's flawed again. If you're not an empty memory card, then it's not. So you don't know anything. You don't know nothing. Like you said, you know stuff. So how could you teach? So what you're saying is just
Can I,
dumb. Contradicts itself.
wait? Can I answer?
Yeah, if I
Okay.
ask you a question, but
It's about holding on to things. My name is Mr. Let Go for a reason. I named myself that for a reason. And here's the thing, and this is going to blow your mind.
so memory cards let go of stuff.
Can I freaking finish? Okay. So here's what.
I didn't finish my shit.
Can
Go
I
ahead.
finish? I don't hold on to things,
Okay.
right?
Not even
So
knowledge.
I don't hold on to the knowledge either.
Not even things that you find useful.
Are you just going to keep? I don't understand. Like, do you
Yes, it's
not know
called a
how to converse?
conversation, brother. It's not a monologue where you get to
No,
have.
conversing is you say something and I say something.
Yeah, you
Does that
gotta
make sense?
let him. You gotta let him finish the thought, CJ.
And a lot of modern men, a lot of y'all are used to your moms, and your mom is like da 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 da. So she interrupts you, therefore you interrupt other people. So when you go in a room full of men who are actually doing better than you, and you start doing this goofy shit, they're gonna kick you out of the room. So I'm here to help, sir. I'm here to help. All right. So there we go. That's all I'm saying. Because I'm not against you. So the thing about it is, I don't hold on to things, right? Just like with whole tonight's conversation. I'm not going to get into that, but I don't hold on to that. Whatever went on there or whatever's going, I leave, set my boundaries, and then we can come back, reconvene, and do some more shows or do this, do that, or whatever. I don't hold on to anything. So the thing about it is, life is like a piston. It's going like this, right? Pause. But there's a problem and then there's a solution. There's a problem, there's a solution. Life is always going to go up and down. I could use Bitcoin as an example. It's going to go up like this and it's go down. So at the same at one point, I might know a whole bunch of shit, but then I need to let it go so I can learn some other shit. It might be a thought process
I know
that
what you're
I'm
gonna say,
like,
man,
yo,
because I swear he said it's gonna be quick.
okay. It might be a thought process that I might like, but this year it might not serve me. I'm going to let it go and be open to a new thought process. So I let go of things easy so I don't hold on to things. That is the empty memory card ideology. Go ahead.
Okay, so the older you get, even older gentlemen, they should reset their memory card. They should reset their memory card.
1000%. Them niggas don't know nothing. Like older
So what,
people, younger people, we got to be open to new things, period.
so what do you consider wisdom?
Wisdom is understanding. It's not really knowledge. It's the understanding that things are different.
How do you get understanding if you erase the memory card every time? How could you understand anything?
It's not really
every time.
erasing. Okay, it's certain parts of your brain that okay, there's a part of your brain called the amygdala, right? And it holds all of the integral things that go on in your life, right? And it's important for you to utilize another part of your brain, which is the prefrontal cortex. So life is about cycles. Like I said, Bitcoin, it's about cycles, right? Sometimes you got to use your amygdala for the wisdom, and sometimes you got to use your prefrontal cortex to learn more things. You know what I'm saying? So the thing about it is sometimes you're like this and sometimes you're like that. You know, you got daytime and nighttime is a very important cycle of life. So everything is a cycle. Does that make sense?
But it makes so kind of, but I think we got to kind of clarify when you let go of saying, are you saying that you're open to learning new things consistently?
Always, yes. And because of that, I have to forget old things.
Oh, not, well, are you saying, Miss Lego, forget or revise? So, like, let's say you say, like, so, Miss Lego, did you play football coming up?
Mm-mm.
Well, so essentially, for a long time, they taught us that you hit with the crown of your head. That's how you make the most impact. But then once we learned about neck trauma and CTE and things of that nature, and when we learned that you can never break your neck ever going backwards, like literally, you can snap your as hard as you can. It won't, because your vertebrae is meant to do this, right? When your neck is actually, when the vertebrae are actually aligned, is when your head is down. That's when you definitely will break your neck. But we learned for a long time, right? So we thought that, and then when we learned the new information, we always kept that in the back of our head because you need to know what's wrong and then understand what's right. So that's what's happening.
Yeah, it's an unlearning. So you keep what works and you let go of the rest. You know, you chew the fat. I mean, you chew the meat and spit out the bone. So the full of anything is never going to be perfect. So you got to take sections out and say, I'm gonna use this part and then use this part, but you got to let parts go.
That's not even what he's saying, Hamp. He's saying you get the good stuff, you get the good part, right? And then you forget that as well. Because you should have a clean slate when learning anything. You should forget the good stuff that you learned, and you should forget the bad stuff that you learned. Because you should start fresh. It should be an empty memory card.
You ever heard of something better? Good can be better.
Yeah, no? But I guess, Mr. Let go to CJ's point. The only way you know it's better is if you keep the good in mind. So if you keep good here, then you find something better. The only way you know better is because you make a comparison. Like, damn, that's better than that, and then you move on. To your point.
Yeah. That's simple semantics, and it's okay. But my point is, my ideology is I approach things as I don't know. I can start this job over here. I could work for Coke and then work for Pepsi, and they have the same way of moving, right? I gotta forget what I learned over here so I can learn how they do things over here, because it may not necessarily be the same. It may be similar, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let that go and move on to something else.
But so when Mr. Let go, then what do you do with your wisdom? Right? Because wisdom comes from the things that you've experienced, right? And you learn. So it may not be one-to-one, but there's going to be several things that'll put you ahead of somebody who actually doesn't know anything.
And Hamp.
Right.
And if his thought process was correct, he would have accepted everything I said, because he's starting out at a baseline of he knows nothing. So everything I'm saying to him, he has to accept as is. he might be telling the truth. I'm open-minded. I don't know anything.
Yeah.
So what this man is telling me, I gotta accept.
Yeah, so I think he's open-minded. He's open to say, if this is some better shit, I'm gonna go with that, right?
No,
But
HAMP. He said an empty memory card.
no,
He
I
just said
know.
memory card with good shit on it.
You're
I
caught
know,
up on the
CJ.
semantics. I literally said, let's have a conversation to give you an opportunity to share something with me that I can learn. I'm not up here as the all-knowing nothing. I literally like, yeah, can we have a conversation? I literally said that. So because I want to hear what you got to say too.
I agree with that though.
I'm not here to argue. I'm here to converse because you might
be open-minded. That's being open-minded.
It's not empty, right?
It's not what
CJ,
you're saying.
saying,
It's not. I know nothing. That's not a.
CJ, the point that you're pinpointing is the fact that it's a fresh memory card. So that means
that's his main argument. I'm not the part where it's open-minded. He said it's fresh. I know nothing. That's his main argument.
That means that all new information should be able to be saved, right? Essentially.
Thank you.
I literally said it's like a memory card. Is a difference between a fresh memory card and a reformatted memory card. You got to delete some shit off your phone in order to clear off some shit. You don't delete everything.
Changing it now, HAMP.
Okay. Well, maybe it's a clarification.
It doesn't matter, sir.
Well, go ahead. What?
When you're wrong.
So he's stating how it was stated previously, Mr. Let Go, is the reason why we need to get clarity. So the premise is you open a new information and you willing to throw old information out.
Yeah, if I find
at any given time, some better shit.
Yeah. Or something that will serve me better. It may not even be whatever. Some may serve me better, and there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. But CJ, you had some more issues because I stopped you because I wanted to answer that question. What is your other issue? You're on mute.
You're on mute, CJ.
The complaining thing being gay was pretty problematic.
Why?
Because if you don't complain, how will people even know that you have an issue?
We tackled that a few times, multiple times. At some point, you got to learn how to mobilize and start a movement or get something going and stop, because if not, you're just gonna look like a bitch. We talked about that.
But the complaint can be the movement starter. The complaint can be the thing that, like, if you complain in your job, you don't have to do anything else. The complaint is the thing that's going to get the shit solved. Hey, my boss did this to me. Okay, we're going to solve this issue for you. Now, if you're saying, hey, man, don't complain, you get nothing solved. It's gay. You're thinking it's gay. It's gay to complain. You remember my example when I said the women in the casino, when it's cold, they say, hey, it's cold in here. Can you turn on the heat? If the men say, hey, we're not going to complain because we're men, they're just going to be cold. It's the stupidest argument in the world.
But the movement is the turning on of the heat.
They don't turn on the heat. The people that they complain to turns it on.
Listen. If I'm in an environment and it's too hot, I have two options. Either get somebody to turn on the heat. Turn on the AC or leave the room. Leaving the room is the movement. The complaint is, hey, it's hot or it's cold, right? The movement is, I'm going to leave the room. Niggas need to start doing something differently. That's the movement. Stop whining about it being cold and go do something about it. So when it comes to the women, whining about women is the first part. Y'all want to whine about women, but we're in year 12 or year 4 for some people, right? And it's still the same bullshit. When is y'all niggas going to stop whining? Do something about it. And the ways to do something about it, Sherelle share some things and I share some things. Work out, look better, whether you're a male or female, find a way to make more money. Like I heard about TikTok, like when TikTok went away for a day, I literally learned how much money niggas was making on TikTok. Guess what? I'm on TikTok more than I was at first. Cause I'm like, wait, what? And I was like, common people are making so. I was like, oh shit, TikTok shop. I was like, oh shit. I didn't even pay attention. I thought TikTok was some bullshit. I changed. So the thing about it is you can always learn something, but at the same time, bro, you gotta wake up and start moving. Get on TikTok. Get on here. Do this,
Okay.
do that, make adjustments.
So, CJ, I guess essentially the women in the thing saying it's cold. When are they gonna go turn on the heat
Or leave.
or get the heat turned on? Now, is it okay to get somebody else to turn the heat on? Essentially,
Yeah.
So, but that's not good enough for men. Should men forget the part about asking to turn the heat on and just go turn it on themselves, Mr. Let Go? Is that the premise?
Men are finding
the premise is something. Make something. You got to start a movement. If you want to work out, you got to start lifting weights. You can't be walking around.
Complaining ain't something. But and I say men are looking for solutions. We are going telling men to work out, make more money. We're just set. The thing is,
year 12
isn't for. Hold on, brother. The space isn't for complaining. It's for telling the men what the reality of the situation is. To stop sugarcoating shit. To stop saying, "Hey, just keep doing your best, and eventually you'll find the one for you." That shit is made up.
Let me read
Y'all need
these
to understand that the market. Go ahead.
Yeah, let me read these real quick. And you could I want you to finish your statement, CJ. I just want to read these. I don't want to get too far behind. You were saying you understand that the market is what? Sorry.
The market is what it is. So once you understand that, you're gonna move accordingly.
Okay.
You're not gonna keep telling me sending us into a burning building.
So are you aware that there's a different market?